Right now, elite minds within the highest levels of the United States military and government are vanishing. Researchers handling some of the nation's most sensitive data are walking away from their labs without a trace. The data reveals a grim pattern. In just the last few months, 12 top-tier nuclear and space scientists, people conducting state-of-the-art military research, have been reported missing or found dead. This spike in casualties is causing a domestic panic. Prominent journalists, including Fox News anchor Laura Ingraham, have begun broadcasting the details of these 12 scientists, questioning why so many specialized experts are suddenly being lost at once. The circumstances of these disappearances are difficult to reconcile with standard police reports. One military scientist vanished from his home without his phone or his glasses, essential items he needed to function, taking only a firearm with him. Even more unsettling are the digital footprints left behind. Some of these targets sent messages to their families and colleagues months in advance, explicitly stating that if they were ever found dead, it should not be treated as a suicide. For decades, the United States watched from a distance as its adversaries lost their top researchers to internal sabotage. Now, the investigation is shifting inward, as officials consider the possibility that this same shadow war is playing out within American borders. The United States isn't the only nation seeing its scientific infrastructure hollowed out. As these American scientists disappeared, a parallel crisis began in China. China recently lost one of its foremost experts in hypersonic missiles to a sudden, unexplained illness. Others in their aerospace and nuclear programs have died in car accidents or vanished from public life without explanation. This chart shows the synchronized nature of these losses. Between the US and China, 20 to 22 elite scientists have been lost in just the last 2 years. When the data is aggregated, it suggests a coordinated global strategy. This isn't an attack on buildings or borders, but on human infrastructure, the people whose specialized knowledge drives national defense. But why target an aging scientist instead of a billion-dollar laboratory? The answer is found in the timeline of human capital. Building scientific mastery takes 40 to 50 years of education, clearance, and experience to advance a nuclear or hypersonic program. Once built, the window for their most critical contributions is narrow, lasting only 15 to 20 years before retirement. Eliminating a lead scientist is more effective than bombing a facility. A laboratory can be rebuilt in a few years, but the loss of a senior researcher deletes decades of national progress, regained only by waiting for a new generation to age. While a new crisis for the West, early nuclear program history shows this tactic has been used to cripple nations before. India has spent decades dealing with this exact form of sabotage. The most significant loss was Homi J. Bhabha, the father of India's nuclear program. His death in a 1966 plane crash remains shrouded in suspicion, pointing to foreign interference aimed at stalling India's atomic ambitions. Decades later, the pattern returned with even more intensity. Between 2011 and 2015, the Indian scientific community faced a concentrated wave of casualties. This scatterplot tracks the rate of loss during that period. 11 Indian nuclear scientists died from unnatural causes in just 4 years, a density of loss that suggests a deliberate campaign. What the US and China experience today is an escalation of the sabotage that targeted India. The target hasn't changed. It is still the intellectual engine of the state. The American government is now treating these disappearances as a matter of national security. The White House has confirmed that intelligence agencies are reviewing the cases of all 12 scientists. This sweeping investigation, currently led by the FBI and other federal agencies, is focused on identifying the foreign power responsible. Investigators are looking at Russia, examining links to China, and tracing networks in Iran. But identifying the source creates a massive geopolitical risk. The moment an official report is released to the public, the government is forced to act. If the United States formally identifies a nation for operating hit squads against its researchers, it moves the conflict from a shadow war to an overt one. Such a revelation would leave no room for diplomatic neutrality. We are seeing a new era of conflict. In this century, a superpower's deepest vulnerability lies in the specialized knowledge held by its brightest citizens, expertise that takes a lifetime to build and only a moment to lose.